squirrely descent and then drive home the last 5Ks. It could open up something to a time trialist who can climb a bit, and therein lies the conundrum today. It may not all be together for a bunch sprint, but we think it will be, right.
Yeah, I think the possibilities of that happening are pretty high. Of course, there's a lot of different options. We've got a few Slovenians in the race. I don't think Roglic is going to have a go, but there are others definitely as we come through the border now into Slovenia. Don't know how to say that. Welcome in Slovenian, but welcome to Slovenia. And I think they'll have a real look at this one. So let's see what the Slovenians do, but I think there might be some other riders that might kind of fancy this. We saw yesterday with Bardet and Vacek, and I'm sure that others will kind of look at that. Yesterday's climb came a lot closer to the finish, but they'll get a chance to look at the circuit anyway. I think it's the technical nature of the circuit which will help. You know, maybe a small group. I don't think it'll be an individual, Carlton. I think it'll be maybe a very kind of small group, maybe 3-4 maximum.
I agree. Just looking to see what Ineos Grenadiers are up to here. Team and Irishman up towards the front, obviously looking after Egan Bernal as well. Castroviejo is a man who can go along, so is Josh Tarling. Maybe they're going to have a couple of cards to play. Maybe they'll go together. Maybe Ben Turner will be there as well. These are not names that you would automatically mention on a sprinting day, but because of the mixed terrain, they have to be elevated. You'll obviously also pull up a few others. Caden Groves has actually been very good at handling kind of sketchy finals as well. He's a brave rider, but also a sensible one. He doesn't take unnecessary risks, but when he sees an opportunity, he takes them. And he's very good at filtering out things that actually are just madness and keeping it sensible. It sounds to me like they are going to be going for Dorian Godon today instead of Sam Bennett. That's Decathlon AG Tour Le Mondial. Don't be surprised if Sam Bennett pops up and does something spectacular. He's given to doing that, especially after a bit of adversity. Let's see if he bounces back. Paul Magnier for Soudal Quick-Step. Good call for today,
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm just looking to see whether the passport control is...
There isn't one. Because it is part of the Schengen zone, I believe. So there you go. None of that required. 44.4 kilometres from home. And a few riders here, kind of, if they wanted to be part of it, they'd have to be a bit further up. And time to do it for Ethan Hayter. Wants to be in the break. I think that was possibly his best opportunity. He's got a kick on him as Ethan Hayter. He's also a decent time trialist, so don't be surprised if all of a sudden you think, I thought he was at the back, he's at the front. Can happen. Mati Gavetska for Bahrain Victorious. I'm steering clear at the moment from mentioning the out-and-out favourites because there are some out here that I think could go strongly. Even someone like Diego Ulissi, actually, strangely, on this kind of terrain. Max Canter for XDS Astana. Casper van Uden. Well, we know that he might well indeed be a feature. He has been already. One-stage win. And I actually think that he is part of the top draw, along with Coy, along with Groves, and along with, of course, Mads Pedersen. They've been quiet today. You mentioned it, Brian. Are they going to go loud?
Well, I'm hoping they will. Why stop here? It would be the first stage that they have done nothing. Every stage they've featured, tried to do something, which I think has been brilliant. So it'd be a shame if they didn't do anything. I just don't think it's going to be as hard as, you know, in the terrain around here to make a bit of a difference. But that's not stopped them trying in the past.
You know what's brilliant about this crowd, apart from anything else? Hardly anyone was filming it. They were just enjoying it. How nice is that?
Yeah, it's you know, you have to kind of take it in, and you know, they certainly are here. But Saturday afternoon now in Slovenia now. We've got these four guys still in front and the peloton bearing down, but they've pushed out a little bit more. Now it's 128, but we're just kind of going over that kind of pre-climb, and we're about to start the next climb. But for any of those that thought, where in the world are we? You obviously know now with the amount of flags that are out.
It's fantastic, isn't it? Primož Roglic, of course, being roundly cheered here. Gavetska will be one of those as well. There's actually a good smattering of Slovenians through the pack, Brian, that, quite frankly, They've got a job to do today.
Yeah, there is. I think for Red Bull, definitely Roglic and Tratnik. Roglic is not going to do anything today. I don't think he's just going to follow. Tratnik would be, if he gets the opportunity. Gorica definitely for the sprints, but yeah, I think that's the kind of best option for Slovenia to get the victory today.
Mats Pedersen's been celebrating. He took it very well. I'll give him that. Mats Pedersen with the cream pie flan to the face. He's been talking about the moment.
Mats Pedersen, I see that you cleaned your face from last night.
Yeah, bastards.
What happened?
So I don't even know what he is actually on the team. He's like co-manager with Luca, kind of assistant of Luca, and he. Michael Rogers. He took a plate with cream and put it in my face, but he don't know what he started now, so he's on his toes.
And today, Mads, could be 5th stage win for you. What have you guys been talking about regarding today's stage?
Again, it's a little bit like the other day. You know, it's a tough sprint. I know it's only 7 Ks to the finish line from the last climb, but the climb is so short, so we think everyone will pass, and then it's going to be a regular sprint. And we know with that speed, I have a hard time against Coy and getting gross and so on. So we have to time it perfect, and then I think it's all about minimizing the loss again today of points.
So if my big cycling heart had a little vision this morning, watching you and Wout attacking on the last climb with 7 Ks to go, that's going to be too difficult.
If he attacks, I follow for sure. Then I'm in for it, you know. But I won't set it up. But if he goes, I will follow for sure. But I think they will go for Coy, so I don't see any idea of them attacking.
But Mads, how was it seeing those images yesterday, the slow-mo of your win?
Yeah, it was almost as painful as being in this situation. So now it was really nice. It was. It's an honor to have these fights against Wout. You know, some years ago I was chasing these guys. I was chasing him to be as good as him, and now I'm able to to race against him like this and beat him and have a proper fights and finals like this, and it makes me proud and makes me happy to have this racing against each other.
Thanks a lot, Mads. Good luck today.
Thank you.
Nice response. Interesting as well. Michael Rogers, he says he doesn't know what he started. This sounds like it might get out of hand. Let's wait and see. Break is within the grasp of the peloton, but they're just coming up to the top of indeed this little peak. It has maximum gradients of around about 13% within it. We're not there yet at the top. This is 40 kilometers to go. In fact, it's just the start of the climb, Brian. Let's see what happens to this gap.
I think Mats Pedersen just answered our question there, that they're going to go for damage limitation today, which means that they're quite happy to have an easier day, not try and kind of drop anybody, which they haven't on previous stages, come up to the front of a climb like this and try and shake out the peloton. So they're going to wait and try and put Mats Pedersen in the best possible place to get the maximum points out today.
1,800 meters to the top for our breakaway. Still a minute and a half behind these guys. Look at that terracing on that mount over the other side. That's quite remarkable. Great wines in Slovenia, actually, and some of them quite hearty as well. Good to give you. Brian's eyebrows have just gone up. Oh, yeah. And here comes Primož Roglic. Nobody wants to take too many chances. Of course, Gavecka's team Bahrain victorious. They're going to be working for him. They're coming up and into position as well. There's a few sniffs already here, Brian.
Yeah, that was Mihailovic bringing up, their overall contender Tiberi, just making sure that he's in a very good position.
Loud and proud when it comes to cycling. Watch the overhead power cables there with you. with your flags, for goodness sake. But so lovely. This gentleman feels love. We do too, for the world of cycling. And we're feeling what they're offering here, Brian. And it is the national racing colour, actually, is that that sort of green. I don't know what sort of green you'd describe it as. A pea green, would it be?
Slovenian green.
Yeah. You often see their national time trialling kit is used to be their track kit, was that, wasn't it, in the Olympics?
Yeah, the national kit is that colour.
Yeah.
So the race with green. So yeah, this breakaway intends
Olive
trying
green,
to
that's what I'm looking for.
stay in front. Kasper Asgreen has done pretty much most of the pace making. On the right hand side you see Visma Leisavec with Wilco Kelderman.
Second stage in 1922, finished in Portoros. There we are. Then part of the Venezia Giulia under the Kingdom of Italy. It's when they had a king. Yes, lots of dukes, of course. Yeah. Anyway, these days, who's in control? Nobody knows. Clément Davy is not, that's for sure. And he's been tapped off the back of this pace change all of a sudden. And Kasper Asgreen, who was the biggest name within this breakaway, is living up to the billing, and he is absolutely punching on. I wonder how close the line Asgreen's going to get. He's giving it a go.
Yeah, magnificent crowds, you know, as expected, a Saturday afternoon in Slovenia, and Grand Tour coming to town, and you know everybody's coming out to enjoy the occasion. But Asgreen, you remember that stage he won. He did a couple of back-to-back stages. The Tour de France stage he won by getting himself in a breakaway and kind of hanging on with a very slim advantage. He just never say die. Such a strong rider, former winner of Ron van Vlaanderen, and he's such a powerhouse. He's come over to EF Education Easy Post, and I think slowly but surely he started to ride himself into this race, and hopefully afterwards we'll see him back to his best.
Very much part of the quick step setup for years and years and years, and then just in that sort of when he's hitting his absolute physical peak, takes the transfer, and yeah, indeed, it was. I can't remember when he won Flanders. Actually, it was 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, it was a few years ago now. He won it,
21. Just been reminded here. But yeah, E3 went his way as well. Stages on the Tour de France, many times just missing out. Actually, often getting pippied from situations such as this. So yeah, he's the engine room here, that's for sure. Let's see what happens when he gets up and over the top. There's your GPM, top of the climb. Go, go, Rogo. Good to see. Well, they love their cycling here. Just listen to this. And the cheers still ringing in the ears. This is fantastic. They properly mean this, the fans. Nobody's looking at the camera giving a hello mom moment. They're all just looking at the riders. I love that. Minute 16 is the gap. Oh, well, well, at least they're up a tower, away from the riders' lungs. That's what we want. And you can listen in on RTL 102.5 by the sounds of things. Meanwhile, trying to keep up here, Dries de Bont, part of the lead-in later on. We hear that Dorian Godon, after chucking the chain yesterday when he was absolutely could have been there, still came home in 5th place, you know, even with a mechanical.
Yeah, he did well. He looked strong. It's these type of finishes that suit him more than Sam Bennett seems to be, but I still think that the sprint stages like today, Sam Bennett would be the best of both, but let's see what they do. But Josh Tarling just pushing on over the top of this small climb, all about positioning for this descent.